So we're going to go live. And now we might, we're not going to let that one come all the way back. We're going to try to let that run. And I mean, that could be the one, right? We're going to say good afternoon to those that might be stopping by on YouTube. Hope you're having a good week. Markets have been wonderful. We're trading from range to range to range in front of the Fed. We do expect there to be a nice break in range. We're thinking it's going to be to the downside, but we're going to trade the ranges that in the markets that we have. We'll let the Fed do what the Fed's going to do. We'll let the market react to what the Fed has done, and we'll trade around it, much like what we do day in and day out. If you are passing by on YouTube, I am Bagadon, and this is StockMarketCaddy.com. If you follow us on YouTube, we really do appreciate the like button. It helps us, get viewership. I don't know what for sure has gone on, but we've gone from 4 or 5,000 views a month to now up close to 12,000 views. So something's working. We appreciate the notification button. If you push the little bell, the notification button, that is to help you know when we're going to go up. And I'm sorry, I know they say that we're supposed to, whoever they is, have a scheduled time, but Baga doesn't have a deadline. No. Um, we love working. We do. We love what we're doing. I'm here so much, but I I love the flexibility. And so I don't have we have certain very, very limited but general deadlines for our members, but I can't commit to, noon every single day or a specific time. But we will do it periodically. It could be, we'll try to always do it around the noon hour, somewhere between 11 and 1, and we'll come up for about an hour. We'll try to, at minimum, we'd like to do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday to give you a feel. Today happens to be a Tuesday, kind of an interesting day in front of the Fed. And it's an opportunity for you to see what's going on, an opportunity to ask us questions if you'd like. And that's why we do it, just to create some awareness. We're not trying to prove an outcome. We're always doing something very specific. You should know you're on YouTube, you're on delay. Unfortunately, the quality of the image is going to be dependent on the setting. I think the best you can get is 750p. So you might want to improve that on YouTube. Our members, our our annual members have access to a private Zoom link, which is high def. And so they're actually on Zoom right here. And for those that come by, they can come by anytime they want. We're on 24/7. The markets are open where our Zoom is linked. I may not be there at any particular moment, but they have everything that I have, everything that Susan has, and they may have an entirely different view. They may be doing something entirely, which is totally great, right? Which is what we encourage. There's so many different ways to skin the cat. And so we started this week doing something here. This is a program that we're running. We've been working with this program idea, this concept for 2 to 3 weeks. We're getting there. We really are. And so what will happen is when we finish with the program, it will become a beta program. And when it becomes a beta program, we have certain annual members that have said, hey, Don, I get it. It's beta. It's not fully vetted, but I'd like to play with it. I'd like to work with it. And we will send it to them. And it will stay in beta until we get confirmation that it's doing everything that we want it to do. That could take a few weeks. That could take a few months. If it doesn't, it may never get out of beta. Now, we don't throw anything away, but if it does pass muster for us and for them, the beta group, then it will go into our library, lose the designation of beta, and go out to everybody, our annual members. Our monthly members will get to see the evidence of many of these tools at night through a video. But our annual members actually get them on their desktop. That being said, you would, as an annual member, you must have the TradeStation version that we have, because all these programs are written just for TradeStation. Now, I know that other programs and other people have scripts and so forth, and the language is different. But we use specifically the coding language that is available at TradeStation. I have no affiliation with TradeStation. We love them. They're great. I think their technology is better than they realize. They're great support, great tutorials, wonderful. But and we couldn't do what we do from a trading standpoint without them, without their technology. I rarely have to call them though for anything, rarely. And I think, and I hope everyone would say that, they're pretty responsive. I've always found them very responsive, really, really good. I spent my life, we've been doing this 15 something years. I had a previous life where I spent all my time in surgery. Surgeons are pretty demanding, pretty exacting. I would say that TradeStation is a surgical tool for trading. Really just shouldn't be intimidated by it, but we can help you with the learning curve, not just in what we're doing, but we can help you and augment their tutorials and their training. We know their platform really well, but we're still learning with it because they just keep expanding the offering. It's really tremendous. So we hope you're having a good week, a good day. We have completely videotaped this week, right? I have hours and hours, and it consumes a lot of computer memory, but we have hard drives. And at the end of the week, we hope to condense a full week of trading down to maybe 10 to 15 minutes and give you a chance to see we haven't been doing any intervention. This has been running fully auto. The account started on Monday at 8 a.m. with a balance of 25,000 in full view. Maybe not in full view of YouTube. We can't run that long. They will time us out. But in full view of our members, and we're taping it. The account stayed in a narrow band of about $1,500. We got to about 26.2. We got to 23.5, about 1,500. Beautiful. We feel as though we could have intervened half a dozen times. I think you'll see that in the video when we compress it. Because see, we could go up and capture this profit if I wanted to. I might, but right now I'm going to let the machine run. So this is what we want this program to do, is to trade in a tight range, keep the volatility in our account close, and then when she breaks, be in the trade. If our account gets up, north of 30,000, 31, 32, we make 6 or 7,000 for the week. We very well might shut the program off and call it a day. Is that cheating? Yes. I, I get a kick out of it. People sometimes say, like, I know what you're doing. I know. What you do is you get up. You get up so much money and then you quit. That's cheating. Yeah, it is. They won't let you do that in Vegas, will they? No, you got to finish. You gotta let the marble keep spinning and spinning around on that roulette table. We can reach in. You get the skill set and say, hey, stop that marble right there. Boom. Put that 2,800 bucks in my pocket. You can do that. It's good to do that. We're not gambling here. This is not a game of chance. I don't gamble. No. Been to Vegas, beautiful city, beautiful place. Great entertainment, great fun. But I don't gamble. I don't gamble on football. I don't gamble. I don't, I'm not and we don't gamble here. And but let's highlight a few things for you, and at the same time answer any questions you might have. Um, let's go get this marker from Zoom and let's get it paint her red. Let's first look at the 5-minute VIX. The VIX is in a rip. She went short. That means it's short. It's ripping against it, against the shorts. Was trying to come up. 48 5-minute segments ago, it went short. So let's paint her red. Now she went short at 8:55, 5 minutes of 9. That tells us what's going on in the options market, or what they think is going to go on, because it's in the futures, right? They're placing their bets. That tells us that that potentially there could have been a sell-off in the market, but she's ripping. She's excuse me. When she was short, telling us that it would be a run-up in the market. Excuse me. Got myself a little turned around. It's the inverse. So let's go and now paint our marker green, and let's look at the ESM. Here it is. At 9:25, the ES went long on Swing Machine. If you took this trade, you're up 1,400 and you're up 1,500 bucks. Take your money off the table. Go sit by the pool, walk the dogs, play some tennis, play some golf. Please enjoy this world, right? Enjoy it. NQ, 5-minute. It's supposed to be fun. Trading is supposed to be fun. Living is supposed to be fun. We're only going to be here, right? So it's 5-minute, 11:30. This is at 11:30. It went off. We had a couple of trades on this. This one's 2,200. Look at the Russell. It's crazy. Look at the Dow. And see, we told our members this is classic Fed stuff, right? We go choppy, choppy, choppy in front of the Fed, then they run it up. They want the Fed is the titular head of the banking cartel. They want them to appear to be in control. Look at oil running. So it'll probably continue this into tomorrow. And then once we get the Fed out of the way, then we're going to really see how they are. So this is what Swing Machine is doing. This is what our program is doing. And we started the week with 25,000. And, we don't keep score on percentages, but if we were, our account is up, what, more than 10% in a couple of days. But we don't keep score using percentage. We keep score on something called profit factor. It's a little like if you had a business, a Subway store, a dry cleaner business, any kind of business with inventory, and you gotta, get your return on inventory, your ROI. Profit factor for us is like getting our ROI. How much money are we making for every dollar we're putting at risk? Keeps us grounded. It also keeps us focused on what's important, not the money. Money is greed and fear. We want to focus on the things that deliver the money. There's a difference. There is absolutely a difference. And they want you focused on the and Twitter and everybody else. They all focus on the money. I don't know why. Maybe because we started with so little. I always said to Susie and I have been together now since we were, I met Susan when I was 17 years old. She was an older lady. She was 18, college, or 17. My biggest concern was that I wasn't going to be able to drink. I didn't have a car. I didn't have an ID. Everyone else, I didn't turn 18 until December, my first semester. But I got an ID. I got an ID. I don't drink at all today. I don't drink. I don't smoke weed. Like to stay healthy. Like to enjoy this place. But I always said to Susie, and we were simpatico right from the beginning. We're gonna have a great life. We knew we were gonna be together, you know, inside of a year or so of college, and we just said we had I tell a little story, but a college buddy draw out a home. He was doing architectural stuff, mechanical drafting. He drew out a home in in Florida because the picture has, so it was a schematic. He drew the schematic, the elevation, the floor plan when we were in college. I asked him to. And Susie, we weighed in, and it had palm trees and everything in it, and it's on our wall. That's the house we live in today. We built it. Took us a few years, not that much. I mean, we were about 30. Took us about 10 years to get there. But here we were from Boston. We built the very house and put it in Florida, yada, yada. So we're big believers in you bring about what you think about. It isn't enough just to think about something, though. You do have to put pen to paper. You do have to put elbow grease to something, right? You do. There needs to be an effort. There needs to be, this is the other thing too. I didn't expect to really go here, but there's another gentleman that went through the Q school, and I hope he's doing well, and I hope he patches in, and he's from Canada, and um, and he has just such a great attitude. He's a little bit limited in Canada in what platforms he can get, but you say no stress, Don, no stress. Beautiful, no stress. And whenever I speak with him, he was always just no stress, no stress in his life, and I hope he's still doing well. Um, and Again, you just got to enjoy it. Makes it more pleasurable, of course, when what was the scene from Caddyshack? When the stock market rolls in. I forget his saying there. Judge Smales. So it always feels good when things are clicking, and they're clicking right now. So we're going to let them run. Any questions, let us know. And we hope you're getting it done with whatever it is you're doing. Whatever it is you're doing, if you're getting it done, I don't care what it is. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Don't stop. Don't. Some folks, not any of our members, but I've met some people, and it's kind of like a self-sabotage sometimes. They can self-sabotage. You got to be careful of that. they need to be careful of that. And if you have any of that, you have to be careful of that. And then if I like to surround myself, I always said this to Susan too, right in college, Susie, we surround ourselves with people that that want to do more, want to be better, want to, you have to do that. Um, and I remember those people. I remember, this is so crazy. My career actually started not in the medical business. I worked for National Cash Register. And I was in my 20s in Miami, Florida. That was my very first job. They gave me an opportunity. And we went to lunch. I'm like 22, 23 years old. And the other guys were like in their 20s. And there was a guy, and he was like in his late 20s. And I can remember and I'm new. And he wanted to tell everybody how this is like, years ago too, right? How the system was rigged and we were never going to get ahead and never going to, and all this stuff. And I didn't say anything because I was kind of like, I was the FNG. I was the friggin' new guy. I didn't say anything. But when I got back home, which was a one-bedroom apartment in Miami, we had a dinette set, a bedroom set, and beanbags. That was it. We were happy. And I told Susan about this gentleman. I won't say his name. I said I couldn't believe how negative he was. I mean, I'm like, he's not even 30 years old. I'm like, are you kidding me? I said, I went to lunch with him again, but I never paid any attention to that. Never, 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 never. You are never too young. You are never too old. It is never too late. And the only thing I would say is if you are anyways around people that are telling you that you shouldn't do this and shouldn't do that and shouldn't try that and don't do this, get away from them. Get away from them. You will do so much better. You'll be so much happier. Um, just do. I don't know whatever happened to the guy. I don't know. Probably not much. And then from there, from selling cash registers and whatnot, um, I I meet a gentleman, at a hospital. I don't even know why I was in the hospital. Was there on business, and then I wind up having a conversation, and one thing led to another, and he worked for a big medical company that did stuff in surgery. I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, well, I have these reps that, go into surgery. And how do you do that? And then he proceeded to tell me all the things that I didn't have. And I didn't, you never have it all, right? You never have the right education. You never have the perfect education. You never, even when you get promoted, you don't, there's always stuff that you don't have, right? Skill set. And but he gave me the opportunity and then, they never looked back. And I spent the next, 20, 25 years or so, thereabouts, in the surgery environment. And I won't go down the road too much, but I never had a biology class. How the hell did that happen? I wasn't a science background. The only biology class I had was in high school, and the teacher was a hell of a nice guy. Now, this is crazy. The I take a biology class. This is how, when you look back, how sometimes like different things, you cross paths with different people, and you never know. You never know who that person might be and have a dramatic impact on your life and when. Later in life, you'll look back and say, that was fortuitous or that was, but you got to be open to doing that, right? And But in the 10th grade, I was really looking forward to this biology class because you went into biology, they had the real high desks and the Bunsen burners and stuff. I can remember coming out, this is going to be a blast. Had sinks in it, and we used to play that paper football game. So, it was, and the teacher grabbed us as the first couple of days, myself and like four other guys, and they happened to be, we're athletic, I guess, of sorts. He pulled us back and he said, "Hey guys, he was a really nice guy. His name was Mr. Nichols." And he said, you know, "Guys, I have a Karan, I'd love to talk with you too. You have to let me know where you're from, and we can either talk on the phone or we could private Zoom." But but he just said, "Guys, um, I have these bookshelves that I need to have built." And he took us back in his back office. And he said, "And the truth of the matter is, you guys know it. I know it. You're not going to be doctors or dentists." you know, and these kids out here, they probably are. And these girls, they were all smart. They're going to be nurses and doctors as well. One of them did actually turned out to be an OBGYN. I went to grammar school with her. And he goes, "But you're not." And he said, "So I don't want to be distracted, chasing you around while you're chasing, bothering the girls. If you guys build me a set of bookshelves for this semester, I'll give you a B for the class." We're like, "Great. Okay, that's great." So everyone else went and we would come out. We would come out when they were dissecting the frog and stuff. And I was like really interested in it. And we watched and everything. And then we went back and built the shelves. Long story short, years later, I call this teacher. "Mr. Nichols, you impacted my life in so many different ways." I said, "But one of the things was he took us on we were city kids from Boston. We had a chance to go on a trip. We had to put together like $500, which was a lot of money, 300 or 400. So we had to assemble the money. I don't even know if it was that much, but it was a trip to Florida. And it got us out. It was the first time I was ever on an airplane. First time I was ever out of Boston. And I was like, oh my God. And what a trip we had, right? With about, 70 or 80 high kids. And so it really impacted me. And I said, when we got back, I'm like, I'm getting, even when I first met Susan, I'm like, "We're going to Florida. Like, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting nothing wrong with Massachusetts, but I'm getting out of here." And I even said to Susie, I said, "You know what? I don't know if we're going to make it or not make it. I think we are, but if we don't make it, at least we're going to be warm." But I ended up calling him back. And I said, "You were such a great teacher." And, I said, You probably have no idea what I'm doing today." He goes, "What are you doing, Don?" I go, "What would you guess?" He goes, Probably a policeman." I thought, "That's a good guess." Because actually I did a little of that. And I said, "I'm actually teaching surgeons how to put knees in." And I thought the phone was going to drop. He's like, "What?" I said, "I am teaching surgeons how to put in total knees." And he's like, "What in the world are you doing? How did that happen?" I said, "I'm not really sure." But and I wasn't mad with him at all, you know. Probably should have taken the class. Maybe I would have been, but but I spent, all those years, 20 plus years out in surgery, wearing a surgical mask before it was fashionable, and literally teaching surgeons how to work with some of the most advanced instruments of the day. Starting out was, well, first it was the sutures. So we had to learn um, oh, beautiful, Karan. You're in Costa Rica. Beautiful. That's a nice, friendly environment. Well, I won't go off. That's what's so nice. I like people, and it gives me a chance. The way that we trade, it's pretty boring, right? I mean, I'm not showing you charts and stuff, right? I could be, but there's no point to that really. We do it during the Q school. And but I think it's important if you're going to work with somebody, you'd be working with us, or you're subscribing to us, that um, who we are, what we're about. What platform your system work on? Okay, so let's answer Karan. Thank you. And thank you for indulging. It's always good to sometimes stop and reflect how you get to where you want to go, and if we can impact, hopefully for the positive, people's lives in a direction which we have, because we've been told it's very, very rewarding. And I'm very, very grateful for all I've had some great teachers, phenomenal teachers, and all the way through, and great corporate support. I'm a huge capitalist companies, spent quite a bit of money on our education, both my education, Susan's education, and the education of our friends. So Karan, thank you. He's reaching out. Karan's reaching out to us from Costa Rica. I've never been, but I want to go. Have been to Jamaica, love Jamaica, beautiful. And the platform that we're using here is TradeStation. So specifically, the view that that you're looking at, TradeStation has a product called a radar screen. They're the only company that has it. It's proprietary to them. You might think of it as a scanner real time. And we can knock this down to any interval we want, right down to the tick level. What makes it extremely powerful, maybe more powerful than they realize, is TradeStation also has their own coding language, so that we can code our own tools to sit and plug into the radar screen. So although this is running on TradeStation and running on their radar screen, the Swing Machine Plus, what you're looking at here, is coded by us. So that's our intellectual property. That's where that comes from. But TradeStation isn't just about radar screen. They have everything else, and we have probably, Karan, over 70 proprietary tools, and growing. These tools range from radar screens to indicators, or what you might know as studies, paint bars, show me studies, and then strategies or trading robots. And that's what's running up here. So these trades are being reflected. We most certainly have people that have these trades in here. We're not trading this here at the moment. We always keep it present, but we're running a particular robot that has been running since Monday morning, beginning balance of 25,000, started at 8 a.m. And this is where we be. And she's just doing, and I haven't intervened at all. We're just letting that run. I will just say this is that, and I want to answer anyone's questions. When I say robot trading, I want to make sure that everyone understands within the sound of my voice that I'm not trying to give you the impression that this is like the iRobot and that you can plug it into your wall and it's going to just vacuum up money. I wish that was the case, but that isn't. You might think of the robot like a surgical robot, like, for lack of a better comparison, cruise control or a flight control on an airplane. You must be a good pilot with good acquired, flying skill. You must be a surgeon to operate the surgical robot. I've had the chance to sit in that surgical robot. I've had the chance to, from Intuitive Surgical, I could pick up little, little things and tie suture with it. Not on a person though, because I'm not a surgeon. And it's really an incredible piece of equipment. It's a multi-million-dollar piece of equipment. The symbol, by the way, is ISRG, Intuitive Surgical. First bought shares in Intuitive Surgical for about $35 a share. Didn't go to work for them. Probably should have. Had a chance, but I didn't. I didn't fully understand the technology. Maybe I wasn't smart enough to do it. I don't know. But in any case, that was one. But I had friends that did. So if you're not familiar with them, it really is tremendous technology. And the other piece too is in the surgery arena now, phew, man, this AI business is going to be like absolutely crazy, to be 20 years old again in that endeavor is going to be just out of sight. We're using elements of AI ourselves because a lot of this is dynamic and making changes on the fly. So this is, I feel like we're in a great spot. We started Stock Market Caddy was not our original goal, right? That wasn't even on the radar screen. Excuse the pun. It was in the early 2000s that I said to Susie, I don't want to leave our money. I don't want to go down to some tower in Tampa or Orlando and just give our money to some guy and have him, buy and sell GE stock. I'm not comfortable with that. And so like, okay, what are we going to do? Now, I had been investing and trading around the markets right out of college, right? So you should know that. When I referred to that one bedroom apartment in Miami, um, very true story. Dinette set, bedroom set, had to have that, guys, and then bean bags, and we made a shelf to hold this tiny little TV, and it was color, tiny little thing. It's like 12 inches. Um, and then the first year that we were there, um, the first year that we were married, I said we're opening up an IRA account. So it's like, what's an IRA account? So it's an individual retirement account. It's like done. We don't even have a den set yet. That's okay. I said, but we're opening one. You're opening one, and I'm opening one. Like, okay. So we opened our IRA accounts, as babies, and we didn't even have a den set, and we opened it for $500, and I couldn't wait to get started. I just wanted to play the game. Isn't it great? I always wanted to play the game as a kid in college through. I wanted to be, even when the surgery thing is, they even said, if you're going to do the medical thing, be in surgery. That's where all the action is. That's where, that's the profit center of a hospital is the surgery environment. Nothing against the other departments or anything, but that's where it is. So I always wanted to do that. So when we started doing this ourselves in the early 2000s, it was only going to be for us. I didn't have any delusions about I didn't want to be a broker. It was kind of an anathema to it. Why would I want to be? Why would I? Not sure what you mean. Is that what I wanted to do? It was very much what I wanted to do. I loved the surgery environment, if that's what you're referring to. And but we didn't set out to do our own trading to be a broker or a broker for other people, because why would I do that? Because I didn't want to do that. So how did Stock Market Caddy come about? We were doing what we were doing for ourselves, and then it was around 2012 that I was watching the movie Bag of Ants, and I stopped the movie and kind of was like, "Why don't you keep the movie going?" But there's a scene in the movie Bag of Ants where the golfer is kind of bent over and he's shaking and trembling, and I don't know, it just struck a nerve with me, and I just said, "Jesus, Susie," and we got back to the movie, and then discussed it afterwards. I said, do you remember when we started? Because we didn't start out, we didn't have all these tools. We had nobody helping us. We lost considerable time and money, doing these things. It was not automatic. But I said, but we had turned a corner. At that point, we felt we had really turned a corner. And I said, I wonder if there are other people out there that, okay, did you see that, by the way? The machine just took the profit. Did you see that? So that machine just took the profit. Please don't try to mirror these trades, right? That's not why we're doing this, but it just booked that profit here. So the account, this is where we're at, but this is where it's been running for the week. So she is now that was the robot. So while I'm talking, I mean, the machine is doing its thing. So I just share this with you. When we penciled out Stock Market Caddy, the reason why we did it was I thought there might be folks like us that wanted to do what we did. And I thought that we could save you time. I thought we could save you money. And I thought we could help you make money and take control over your own destiny. A huge, huge part of this, though, this was all extremely well thought out at every step. Every time we would go for, and even to this day, though, it was learn to trade your game. So, and I was very comfortable with that. I didn't want to set it up so that we were giving you the specific trade because I'm not set up to do that, and I didn't want to do that. For the same reason didn't want other people making decisions on my money. I wanted to do it. I didn't want to manage. There was a short period there we had some discussions, but it didn't start out to manage other people's money. So it was always set up to provide people the opportunity who wanted to take control over this part of their life and do their, trade their own game, so to speak. And was the impetus behind stockmarketcaddy.com. And that is the difference between us and everyone else. Everyone else is subscribing and giving, trade tips every night or whatever it is they're doing. Sorry, I dropped 2 mails. I'll take a look at them. I will take a look at them. And what was I going to say? But that's not us. That just isn't us. I'm happy, and I want to show you some other things here too. So I didn't mean to walk too far back on history, but I think it's really good to know who you're. I always kind of want to know. And in the membership structure, when you visit the website, and if you think it through, the membership structure is very slow. We're trying to give people the opportunity to see who we are, what we're about, to get a toe in the water without spending a lot of money, and then giving them a chance to say, yeah, no, this isn't for me. I don't want to do it this way. It doesn't work for me, and I don't want to do it. So, to become we have the monthly membership, which is easy to join, get started. That's, pretty automatic. The annual membership, though, we slow it down. You have to go through what we call the Q School, because more valuable than any one of these tools is the education. And the education is more valuable because after the Q School, if you have these tools or you make your own tools, you need the basis. You need the fundamentals to be able to adjust your own game. If you don't get that at some point in your trading career, or you get it up front, or you get the wrong stuff, you're going to be in trouble. And I don't want to see you be in trouble. And so we have been told, by many people, Don, you should do this, you should do that. If you did this, you did that, you would have thousands more members and you'd be making a lot more money. We're not going to do that. We never set out to, when we first built it, I didn't even know if we were going to have one member. And it's just grown. The last 2 to 3 years, it's grown 50%, which is our max. Stock Market Caddy has grown 50% a year, which is really incredible. And that's like the max because it's just Susan and me. And we don't have any, that's it. And so we limit the number of licenses that we issue annually. And the last 2 years, we stopped them on November 1, and then we take a break and then start again this year. I want to show you now, everything here is automated with the exception, we've just upped the screen a little bit with Zoom. These little brackets here, I just highlighted, right? These are some of the trades if you're following Swing Machine. But I want to show you, and by the way, you can interrupt and ask me questions in the chat if you'd like. So, but we have some folks that may be coming by for the first time. Let me clear off a few things and show you a little bit here. And I'm happy to answer more trading questions, right? But what the swing machine isn't using moving averages, it isn't using stochastics, it isn't using MACDs, and I know everyone is using that stuff. It's got its place, but candles and so forth isn't going to get it done. Let me show you something. Now, we trade, we talk about being um, diversified in what we do, and not necessarily diversified in what we own. So intraday, we trade futures. Why? They're liquid. They're leveraged. We don't have to deal with the Greeks. And it's just much easier for us, and they're capital efficient. Beautiful for running a business, trading business. When we start to go out a day or two, or 2 to 3 weeks, we will then begin to use options. Mostly defined. Oops, bear with me a moment. Bear with me. Sorry about that. So as the further out we go, we will use options and mostly defined risk. We particularly like credit spreads, call credit spreads and put credit spreads. We like a lot. The further out from there we go, we will then start to reduce leverage. And we will invest. We're just not invested now. Not here. But we will. So, but we go further out in time. It's also important to understand how to keep score. And if you watch some of our videos, we talk about, that profit factor. But let me show you something here. This is, so this is an intraday view, but we can also trade stocks on Swing Machine. Now, please excuse the Zoom writing. I don't want to manipulate it, but this is still Swing Machine here. Let me just erase the white one so you can see. It's the exact same tool. And it's blue because it's monitoring stocks. So we change it. Very good, Karam. Yeah, very good. And again, if it's expensive to call from wherever you are, and you want to set up a private Zoom, we can do that. I spoke with a gentleman Saturday, from England. So here's the S&P 500, right? Now, I don't have a crack research team. And if you follow on Twitter, you'll probably know who I'm talking about, right? And I don't have an Ivy League education. I didn't go to Yale. And I don't have a bunch of, fired stockbrokers working for us. But watch what I'm going to show you. This is the signal of Swing Machine on a daily basis. This is the signal. It's either long or short. It's either dipping, which is in a long trend, or it's ripping in a short trend. This column here tells us how many days, it's shorthand, how many days NVIDIA's been long. 92 days from the signal. That's what the 92 means. This one here, NRG, is 197 days. Now, the percent return is the difference between the entry price of the signal, which was $457.51 on November 6th, and what it's trading at now. The purse is being calculated on, and this is where, because these are not leveraged, so you've got to come into our tool and you just specify how much money you want to trade, right? So we change it. We put futures to false. We put stocks to true, and we put in $10,000. You may trade 5,000. You may trade 100,000, or you may want to trade the share. But so that's how the purse is calculated. So what you want to know in a few minutes is, how is Swing Machine positioned on all 500 stocks? I'm going to show you, and if you stay with me, I'll even do the NASDAQ 100. And I can show you in a matter of minutes. And this isn't, we're not even looking at a chart, right? And I'm not filling your head with a bunch of Giuliani, Dan Nathan bullshit about, AI this and AI that and trend lines and the chart master and all that. Those trend lines move, right? By the way. So, but watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to sort. Again, we can sort. And so I sort them to the top. And yes, NVIDIA, this is the label row. So it'll always be one less. We're going to show you all 500 stocks. The NVIDIA is in the last 92 days. Had you been a member 100 days ago, you would have seen this signal. And if you had had this on the desktop, and if you had put $10,000 in, you'd be up 95%. The trend is solid. On the fear gauge, it has come in, and the middle of the fairway is 866. So it's right in the middle. This is all important information to know, but you have to have the diversified trading skill to capitalize on this. Because we're not just buying shares. It isn't enough just to buy shares and short shares. You need to know how to use the tools, right? It isn't enough just to go to the golf course and chip a golf ball or hit a driver once. You have to know how, you have to learn to use the tools to play the game, to take the game from the driving range to a golf course and compete. Fortunately, you don't have to compete with me or anyone else. You just got to extract cash flow. So what I'm going to do, pay attention to this column, and we're going to scroll down all 500 stocks in a matter of just a minute or two. So down we go. So it's all green, 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 and mostly all uptrends. And you say, well, yeah, the market's in a run. But here is a stock here. This is the first big short that shows up. Humana. Swing Machine went short 75 days ago. If you had shorted it 75 days ago at 484.86 on November 30th, you would be up on a $10,000 short, 27.73. Now, if it's a dividend stock, when you go short a dividend stock, they charge you the dividend, but suffice it to say, you would be up. Now, if you had been long and you had come out, you would have saved your account a 27% haircut. If you are diversified in knowing what you're doing and know how to use options, you could have made a lot more money, right? Just like in futures, you can leverage these trades. Here, the next big one is going to be one that everyone's going to be familiar with, is Tesla. Tesla went short 49 days ago on Swing Machine at 234. You would be up 26% and in non-leveraged. But how much would you have been up if you had got a 90-day put on it? You'd be up quite a bit. You'd probably be out, but you would have made quite a bit of money. Now, I'm not going to give you an opinion about Tesla. My opinion doesn't matter. No one's opinion does. Swing Machine will let us know when it's time to get back in Tesla. But we're going to keep coming down. So that's what he's the signal comes in here. It tells us how many. And then it also, there's information over here. The trend is down on Tesla. And he's at 40. Now, he was in panic. And so there was a nice chance to get a nice call in here. But that's something for another day. Here's another one, another short. So as an example. But let's keep focusing on this column. And let me bring you all the way down. Down, 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 down. Still profitable, still profitable. Now he's not going to get them all. No, nothing can. All right. So here we are basically right down into here. These are just, even here. So out of 500 stocks, he's profitable in 421. These that are yellow means that he is breaking even and or trying to get in there now. So out of 436 stocks out of 500, Swing Machine is either profitable or flat. The rest of them, yes, he's trending down. He's drawing down. And how many are there? There they all are. But notice the worst trade is down 5.7%. All right, that's the worst. And some of these are the ones that I like to get because I can get a better entry than the machine got. Now, what I want to make sure before you get too excited, or I don't want you to misunderstand, Swing Machine is not a Bible code. It is not a super secret. Well, it is proprietary, but it isn't. He doesn't get all the trades right. So they will have losing trades. We will have losing trades. Entirely possible that the trades before NVIDIA went long and they could have lost. There would have been small losses. But Swing Machine is a machine. And so he won't stay wrong for long. And people will. They don't have a discipline, a hard-baked discipline for getting in and getting out. And they get into situations that they get in over their head, and it's like, well, it'll come back. The old joke, honey, the trade went bad, but you know what? It's an investment now. Every investment's just a trade that went bad. So you really have to step in, and Swing Machine can help you get in. Doesn't even have to be like on the second or third day. I mean, you could have get in 30 days ago, 40 days ago on NVIDIA. Just stay in. Stay in. There's nothing on Swing Machine right here, right now, telling anyone to get out of NVIDIA. It was a little extended when it was up here, at 950, but not now. So let's go look at and does not use moving averages. This is same tool using, oops, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to widen this out here so we can see it. The NASDAQ, the NASDAQ 100. So if you want something that's impartial, right, you don't need me drawing trend lines or moving averages or talking about, what they talk about. And I hear and see, I don't have a TV in the office, but I see it on the Twitter sphere. So let's just go and do the same thing here. It's going to be, these are the, how about Uber? Here's a sleeper 93 days ago. Uber went long at 47.75. Yeah, that would have been a nice fat trade. Here is Meta, 58%. We're going to give you a chance to watch his Netflix. How about Apple? Apple went short 26 days ago. If you had gotten out of it, you would have saved just your account 6%. If you had gotten some options, you'd be up. So that is the idea. We can trigger these. The other part is too, sometimes we'll have folks say, well, Don, why don't you have an alert service and send me the alerts? No, this is Learn to Trade your game. Okay. We will make the video at night for monthly members and they can see these signals come in. However, if you want to have these tools on your desktop as an annual member, we can program these things to alert. You build your own alerts and have the alerts go to your phone. Have them go, you will have built them. You'll know what you're doing. And then you won't miss them. So ADM, Archer Daniel Midlands, is alerting today. It's up 0.86%. Maybe in 90 days, it's up to $120. I don't know, right? But this is where we get them. This sort of idea. Makes sense? So I want to show you out of 100 NASDAQ. Let's scroll down. Long and short, but there's the profit column. We come down and oh, what am I doing? I'm sorry. That isn't the NASDAQ. That was the S&P. I'm sorry. I meant the NASDAQ. Here's the NASDAQ 100. We just did the S&P. We'll come down out of 100 and 86. We're profitable in 84. 2 are flat. So out of 100 stocks, we're profitable in 86. And then there are the dry downs again, relatively small. This is just one tool. And we can go back. So I want to thank you for stopping in. I'm going to let you watch. We didn't expect to be on this long, but I'm going to let you watch and think about what we've had to say. Visit the website, and I'm going to grab a quick lunch if you don't mind. The machine is going to continue to run, and I'll try to come back and answer some questions before we sign off. But it's free to subscribe on YouTube and push the like button and get notification. And if you sign up as a monthly, you get the ball rolling right away. You get an introduction, you get some password, you get to see these tools at night. If you're interested in becoming an annual member, the first thing you need to do is find out the status of your availability of TradeStation. In Costa Rica, I happen to know that I think you have the exact same availability of TradeStation that I have. I think so, which I think is great. I think it's probably a beautiful little country there, nice and free still. And but that may be something that you would want to consider. The Q School is a 3-week program. And think about it, right? We won't spend all day, every day with you. We have a private Zoom for 3 weeks that you get to patch into 24/7. We keep the image up for you. We have a lesson plan for you. We have on-demand videos for you. And we would like to spend 1 to no more than 2 hours with you every day. Ideally, in the beginning, it's about 2 hours, then it gets to be about an hour. But we need you trading and keeping score, because the question that you have today is the question that everyone has, and that is, are these tools going to help me? And the only way I think we can save you time, I think you're going to be very well educated. I think you're going to be in a much better place. We're going to look back at your other trades and ask all the questions in a live environment. But at the end of the 3+ weeks, you're going to answer for yourself whether or not these tools are for you or that we're for you. And if you are, and you become an annual member, then we slow it all the way down. We're going to give you 30% back for what you spent on the Q School, and then you're off and running. And then you can still patch in on the Zoom, and we're there for support. We don't maintain the intensity that we maintain during the Q School because we're trading too, right? We're Susie and I are trading, and that's why it's limited. And we limit the Q Schools to one person. We only do 2 at a time, but it's individual. We have 2, it's individual. And so we don't do classroom stuff. All right, so we're going to let you watch. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back. It's 1:40. I'll probably be back in about 40 minutes or so. So, but thank you. And I will. Some of you said you sent emails, and I thank you, but I've got to take a break. I'll let you watch and read up, write your questions out. Thanks. Okay, sorry about that. Um, so let me, we have a few folks that said they sent us an email. So let me go and look and could have come through a couple of different ways. Okay, Rawex. Okay, so Rawex, thank you for your email. You wrote, hello, I'm interested in robotics. Kindly guide me. Is there a free trial available? What will it cost? Best regards. Okay. I appreciate it. Um, um, we don't have a free trial. So we have a monthly membership and we have an annual membership. I stated that a short time ago, what that is. It's on the website. So you want to visit with all respect, kindly read go to the website, explore it, write your questions down. It goes through the pricing in detail. And if you still have questions, feel free to give me a shout. Okay. But you should see it. If you don't see it for some reason, let me know, but it should be there. And let me make sure there are any other emails. We got a couple email services. Yeah, you've already dropped an email. I only contact available on website. Yeah, there is no pricing, sir. There is no pricing. Okay, let me go bring into view the website. Let's double check it. I'm not saying that we don't have an issue. Sometimes we do with the website, but let me bring this into view. Here we go. Right. So here's the website. Let me see if I can move this around here a little bit. Oh. So, oh shoot. Okay, it's hiding my writing. All right. So if you just come here, this is the website and home, about us, about robotics, about the Q School, and then you just come here to the membership tab. And if you just click on the membership tab and you watch this short little video here, we'll explain in detail the membership. And then down below, there it is. Monthly membership. It's $99.99, $95 a month. And it's explained in the video, right? There's a video here. And then this is the Q School. And then this is the annual membership. And then the renewal members, they have something different. But this video here, when you watch this, it'll explain the membership. So I don't want to repeat it all. If you still have questions or can't, you're seeing something different, let me know. But that's where you would go. And then also on this website, there are, there's a testimonial page. And then if you want to know more about, well, what is the Q School about, Don? rather than me spoon feed everybody here. You can peruse it at your leisure. Just go to the Q School, and there is a video, and you can expand the video, and it'll explain in detail what the Q School is all about. Sound good? We have another website that is restricted just for members, but that is our marketing website. And so a lot of the questions now, if you peruse that and you still have questions, no problem. Just, tell us, but, ask the specific question. Just don't, if I can ask, it seems, when we get an email, like how much does something cost? And it's right there on the website. It doesn't, this is a game of, when we say learn to trade your game, one needs to be patient, one needs to be disciplined, but one also needs to be a self-actuator, as well. One has to have self-initiative, because we're not going to be spoon feeding trades to you. The machine will be teeing them up, but you have to want to do this and want to learn and really want to push the envelope. We don't, we will during the Q School work with you hand in hand, but following the Q School, you really have to have the self-initiative to really dig in, and all our members do. So I just want everyone to know that, I can't possibly, even though we're not, thousands of members, I can't possibly, hold everyone's hand every single day and that's not what we want to do. And I don't think any of our members want that either. So I just, want to help and set one's expectations a little bit, right? So I'm happy to answer any questions. The program is doing just fine for what we're doing up here. We're happy with it. Haven't done any intervention at all. Swing Machine is still doing its thing here, still holding on to these trades. And but it's your chance if you want me to answer any other questions. And again, we just have so many other tools. If we have any option traders passing through and want to know, what we do in that regard, don't hesitate. But we got a beautiful radar that will scan all the stocks and get them mathematically figured out what are the best stocks and what are the best options, defined risk options setups that you might want to consider. Then you take those and then you plug them in to your charting or whatever you want to do, and then decide from there. Zoom in on only the options appearing on this. Let's see. Okay, no problem. Now I understand this. The problem when you zoom in, then only options appearing on site. Only options. Oh, maybe from a cell phone, maybe. Please correct it so I can see it again. Oh, let me see what's going on. I'll learn. Maybe I'm doing. Maybe I can bring it back up. So this is the website, right, on a desktop. Oops, I'll widen this out, right? So this is what the website looks like on a desktop. Home, about, robotic, Q School, membership, testimonials, right? Pretty, not too much. We wanted to keep it. If you want to advance, go from next page to go right through. You can just click and tell you who we are and see it just kind of takes you through us. Robot assisted trading. There's quite a bit on this page, by the way, of robot assisted trading. If you come down here, it's quite a bit of information there still. This is the Q School, but then this is the membership tab. Now, if you're looking at the website on a cell phone, sometimes it does this. So this is generic for all websites. You just click on that, and that gives you the tabs. Because the cell phone is narrow. Let me see if I answered your question there. Does that help? Site is for cell phone. Yeah. So that's where you would, yeah, I get it. So you might be here, you might be on the home page. I get it. And you're not seeing anything. I get it. You're just seeing that. And you would need to come here and then go to membership. That sound okay? Yeah, no problem. Where are you reaching us from? What part of the world are you in? If there's any other questions, don't hesitate. I'm okay with it. Even intellectual challenges about, trading. Oh, India. Oh, wow. Awesome. Do you have a trade station in India? TradeStation is based in Plantation, Florida, Southern Florida, US, but they're owned by Mitsubishi Bank and they're out of Japan and they're a multinational company. So I would think that you would. Sometimes countries have both interactive brokers and TradeStation, and they kind of have a joint relationship. Oh, you don't have them. Oh, that's not so good. Okay. Well, that would preclude you from becoming an annual member because none of these tools would be available to you. But you could still at the monthly membership and the Q School, you could still learn a ton and apply what you learn to the tools that you have available to you in India. The world is such that, we have it here. You know, some countries are, I'm not going to say more free or anything of the sort. It's just more regulation in depending upon where one is, and it is what it is. Surprisingly, Canada, I love Canada has some pretty strong regulations. Ninja with AFT, yeah. Okay, well, great. So you could still very much benefit. Now, so I want everyone to know if you have TradeStation, see, you may not even know if you want to become an annual member, right? We understand that. We expect that. So if you have TradeStation and you go through the Q School, you're going to get more out of Q School if you have TradeStation. But if you don't have it, you don't have it. Have we had members go through the Q School without TradeStation? Yes, definitely. Um, and that is going to help you with your trading with Ninja. And I don't know AFT. I don't know what AFT is with AFT. I don't know what that is, but it would still help you. You're probably going to feel worse that you don't have TradeStation, but maybe one day India will have TradeStation, or maybe there's some way somehow. I don't know, but I can show you some other tools while we're just hanging out here all together. Didn't expect to. Let me bring up some other examples of tools that we have. This is, if you like to trade options, this is a radar. Let me show you. This is very beautiful. So I'm going to just squeeze it in here. So this is what we call SMC options, defined risk club selector radar. And we have all 500 stocks. We have 500 stocks in here. And so what this will do is it will give you, oh, there you go, right? So we were telling our members last night that Adobe, this was flashing to us last night, it's flashing us, Adobe might be to buy a call. You would have done pretty well if you got Adobe on a call. So it actually tells you buy a call, these are all long opportunities, buy a call debit spread. This one's saying sell a put credit spread. This is buy a call. That has to do with, it's doing the math behind the options and giving you, and there's only a handful there on the longs. And then if you're familiar with we'll show you the iron condos. Then over here, we just click here, And then this one's all on the short side, and it's telling us these trade setups, sell a call credit spread, sell a put, or I'm sorry, buy a put, sell a call credit spread, which we do a lot of. And then also, if you are familiar with options and know how to do iron condors are neutral strategies. And these are the stocks that would be like, for instance, Amazon is suggesting that iron condor. Now, exactly where you place your strikes depends on some of your expertise with trading options, but this is where we get them from. This is hopefully what makes our trading very, very consistent. What else can I show you? This is another tool. This is old school. This here we call Pebble Beach. This is SMC Trade Generator. And this radar is scanning 500 stocks. It's generating a buy and a sell signal. Now watch how many there are here, and I'll tell you a little bit about the signal. So how many signals have we had today? Just today. Okay, well, that's a little unusual. So we've had 33 signals, and yeah, we got a fair amount of drawdown on those. That's a little unusual, but 22 of the 33 are profitable. Usually it's only 2 or 3, but it's an excellent tool, and it does read candle formations and gives us highly probable trade setups. And let's see what else. We just have a ton. And our nightly members get to see this is the S&P. This will make you sick. This was back in November. Off the swing point, buy, buy. We got to sell, reversed, buy. Just got to sell, and we're getting another buy in here now. So we do think that this is topping out. We do think that this will break. We do think ultimately, and we do think we're going to have to come back down and revisit 47.75. We'll see. So we do charting, but we use price charts, and we use highly specialized tools as well. We track the VIX through the trend. You know, we're tracking skew. We're tracking a whole lot of things. So, but if you don't have TradeStation, these tools will never reside on your desktop because we've only written them for trade, unfortunately. Oh, let me catch up with your questions. Oh, for futures, it's a prop firm, UK based. Okay. All right. I have no experience with prop firms. So I won't, I don't have any experience with them. Ah, TradeStation is available in India. Well, that's good. Now, what you want to check on, or double check, right? Um, we have the version of TradeStation I have is 10.0 here in the States. I think it's on update number like 1200 or something. They have these updates. In some countries, um, TradeStation is available, but it is only available in conjunction with Interactive Brokers, which is also a very good company. The version of TradeStation, I think, is 9.5, which is a very good version. I used it for years. It's just not exactly the same that we have. Just would want folks to know that. And there might be, there might be some, I don't know really what the limitations might be. But ideally, if you can get the exact same version that we have in the States directly with TradeStation, then your orders aren't filtering through anybody else, and they're going boom, boom, right through. That would be wonderful. So that would be wonderful. They're really, really good. All right, whatever you do, I know the platform may look a little intimidating and everything, but it's just, um, I just because everything is in one place and it's really, really sophisticated, and it's well worth it. You'll have it for years and years, and you'll have it the rest of your life. I can't, and I don't have a relationship with them, right? At all. They don't even know who I am, which is fine, but they're just really, really good. Um, so for the week, our little program, we're up about real time, about $1,400. I haven't intervened once. Oh, that's modest. Had we intervened and scalped, I think we could have done a whole lot better. If we had been trading swing machine, I think we could have done a whole lot better, but that's okay. Also offers trade. Prop firms also offer trades, so I can use robots for. Okay, all right. As long as, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, yeah. So we'll just come in and let's just highlight this while we're together. So this is, and again, we're not trading swing machine right here, right now. No, we could be, right? So let me give you an example here. This is, I think we got the right contract here on gold. We haven't been trading gold. I should double check, make sure we got the right contract. Everybody's trading, but see this shrouded two, the green two, and it's shrouded in white. That means the signal is now confirmed on a 1 minute basis. Gold is wanting to go up. That's what that means. And you can set an alert on these um, codes to go to your phone, go to your email. Very, very, very empowering, right? I mean, you could be building all kinds of alerts. You wouldn't have to be subscribing to anyone else's newsletter or anything else or subscribing. You would be building your own alerts going, as long as you've got, a good, and which is what we want to give, make sure you have and help you on that path. Get a good base understanding of trading and what you need to be looking for and in the traps. We don't want anyone falling through the trap door. We have zero um, zero tolerance for negative outliers. Now, what does that mean? That doesn't mean you're not going to lose. You're going to have losing trades. It's impossible. It's impossible not to have losing trades when you're a trader. But it is not reasonable and it is not a good practice to have blowups, or we call it negative outliers. That is not good. And so we don't want so I'll answer that question. I'll bring the let me review the membership. So we have zero tolerance. So we're getting questions about the membership. So let me bring it back into view. and just review what's on the website. Probably the easiest thing, which I'm happy to do. So let's go here. Let me bring this into view. And so again, we're going to come to the membership. I'm going to click on this. Now, if you go to the website, this video will explain what I'm about to explain. We have 3 levels of membership: a monthly or base membership. It's $99.95 a month. You could sign up today. What do you get for that? And it's month to month. If you sign up in the first month and you're not getting what we think what we're saying you'll get, or you're not getting the value, then you won't be a member. But our retention level for monthly members is like 90%. We've had folks for years. So it's very, very high. So we're very comfortable with that. You'll receive a nightly market video. Let me just make sure I get visibility on the chat. So if there's any questions, you receive a nightly market video each evening by 9 p.m. This video will show many of our proprietary algorithms, helping you to stay on the right side of the market and provide you dozens and dozens of actionable trading opportunities Sunday through Thursday. These videos will never exceed 60 minutes, and they average about 20 minutes. There are no long-term commitments. It is month to month, ideal for the swing trader or long-term investor. So you'll get to see, many of these algos. It isn't me drawing trend lines. It isn't me, pointing out moving averages and stochastics and MACDs and all that nonsense, which is what everyone else does. Now, I'm going to jump over here to the annual membership because this comes in between. The annual membership. The first year is $3,999.95. Everybody who's an annual member is also a monthly member. And I'll explain why that is. But they also get, hopefully, other things as well during the course of the year. Sometimes a person will say, well, if I have everything, why do I need to be a monthly? And I'll explain what the rationale is here. But if you have completed the Q School, so you have to complete a Q School once. So, and I'll come back. But if you've completed the Q School and you choose then to become an annual member, you will receive all our proprietary tools on your desktop. TradeStation and a monthly base membership are required. So you still need to be a monthly, and you must have TradeStation at this point. You will receive custom programming updates and a live Zoom feed Sunday through Friday. 24 hours, you can access us. Some do, some don't, but we're available. Subsequent years, we've had folks now with us over 6 years. Subsequent years are $3,500 annually. So that's the first year. The second year, it goes to $3,500. It's deflationary. And you get 1 month free for every year you belong, up to 6 months. So if a person signs up the first year and then the second year, it drops to $3,500. We'll give them 1 month free for the first year and then 1 month forward for the second year. We do it going forward. Effectively cutting your cost by 50% because it goes up to 6 months. Ideal for the person wanting to trade full-time either now or in the near future. Now, you can't sign up though, and I've had people sign up and I've sent them their money back because we do this for them. We want to slow it down. We want them to go through what we call the Q School once. What is the Q School? SMC Q School is a 3-week plus one-to-one mentorship on how we trade. More valuable than any of our 70 proprietary trading tools is the education on how to use them. Be sure to visit the Q School tab on the site to learn more details. We'll go into detail. At the conclusion of the Q School, you will receive a 30% credit or $1,000 back if you decide to become an annual member. So it's $3,000 here to go through the Q School. And at the end of the Q School, you say, you know what, I do want to go forward, Don. Then we're going to give you $1,000 back, either credit here or we could take it off of here, and then you start to roll out into the annual. If you don't become an annual, then you don't get a credit back, but you've got all the education and you're off and running with Ninja, or but you're going to have learned a ton. SMC Q School could very well change your trading life for the better. We think it will. And that's really it. I think it's pretty simple. Now, a couple of things. You do have everything here. So the question might be, well, why do I still, have this? Well, it doesn't take you 5 or 6 years to learn how to trade. You're actually probably about 15 to 20 trades to really getting underway. But it does take you several years to go through the cycles of the market to learn what the markets are capable of. And so those nightly videos are still very important. I would be doing those nightly videos for us. I've been doing them before we had Stock Market Caddy, and I was doing them for Susie. We have to do them every night to stay in gear with the market, because you need to experience and see, what is a bear market like, and when those things roll in. The other thing, though, is during the course of a year as an annual, we're going to be working on new things, coming out with new things. And maybe you have some ideas and you want them to be programmed. We don't charge anybody anything more. We will just keep adding more tools, increasing the value of your membership without charging you anything. And if you have something that you're interested in doing, we will do our level best to program it. We'll do our best, and we won't charge you for that. So it's no problem. All right, so we're gonna slide back. It's a big decision. Anytime you're even changing platforms, it's not inexpensive. It's not hugely expensive. We think it's really good value, and we operate from the standpoint that whatever decision you make is going to be the best decision for you, and that will be the best decision for us. There's no, we don't pester anybody with phone calls. We do have a mailing list where we try to inspire some folks to see what we're doing. If you find them annoying, we have had some people say, stop sending me. It's like, no problem. We'll just take you off. We're not trying to annoy anybody. We're not trying to pester anybody. We're not. It's got to be something you want to do. And so that's, but I thank you for the question. And, but, even right down to the memberships were, extremely well thought out of what we trying to do, and give everybody a chance to incrementally see what we're about, and over time. The last thing, we do, I don't know who they are, but I have heard horror stories. I had a young lady, and it was terrible, and she's got charged $20,000 for, I think, one program. Little to no education. Of course, it didn't work. I don't know what it was. I don't know. But, that's terrible. All of these programs will come in and out of favor. They all will. There isn't one program there isn't one robot that is going to work on every single market every single day and just automatically print money and just do that. That's why we don't sell individual programs, because if we sold an individual program, if I bought an individual program, I would expect that that program is going to produce all the time, and they can come in and out of favor. So what we decide to do is we provide you everything that we have, and what we're working on so that you can pick and choose what is working at the time. And a lot of it's just up to the market, but also having the skill set in the education, but you have to continue to hone it to choose what you want to do. Yeah, and then Parker is one of our members, and he's just saying there are good programs that are still 3 to 5 thousand that I still see people failing at because there's no guidance or education. They might, and they very well might be very good programs. I don't, yeah. Um, so I'm not gonna, I wouldn't, I'm not gonna, I would never slam anybody specifically one way or the other. But thank you, Parker. So did I answer? I'm looking at Raul's. I must say, this is best platform that I've ever seen. It's pretty nice, isn't it? It is very nice. And we can. I think you were here the other day. So if there's any market you want us to plug in on, is the J contract right now? I should know. Let me just double check and make sure the gold is the J contract. That seems a little sluggish to me, but prior to the Fed here, let me just check. I'll go to the CME myself, CME markets. Let's make sure gold kind of moves. It doesn't quite move in the same 3-month cycle that the Yep. Okay. It is. It is Park is confirming GCJ. Yeah. So if we were to look at the daily view, um, but you have to understand, right? Prior to these, there could have been trades that didn't pan out. But he will kick them out. Let me go. I need to open back up. Sorry. Where'd you go? So if we went to the ES and we put in the daily view, well, here it is on a daily, went on, yeah, 88 days ago. Now, it's ultimately going to go short. I don't know when. Maybe it's going to be in a few more days. But I don't know how long that trade's going to last. We all saw this go off. We all did back on November 10th. We're like, wasn't that interesting? We were bearish at that time. We were bracing. We were bearish. It looked pretty nasty. And then they all popped along. And when it did, I thought, well, you know what? End of October, seasonally, a lot of times the markets bottom the end of October, early November, and I thought we'll run to December. I thought they could do that. Did I think they would run all the way to March? Nope, but they have. And the Nasdaq, same thing. And now you might be saying, well, I'm going to wait. I'm going to get myself a membership. And when that sucker goes short, I'm going to step in and I'm going to make 50 grand. Well, that daily short signal, that might just last 10 days. And it might pay out a few grand. You might lose a few grand. It's not an automatic. And then it might go long again. So that's where you have to be, skilled as a trader and understand the risk reward. This isn't a pile in. This isn't a get rich quick. This isn't, automatic. There's a skill set here. We'll put this back to a 5-minute, but I'm happy to, but you just get acclimated. That's why we keep this up, because it keeps, a really nice view. And I could go up here and grab that $150. I still tend to think that this market's going to turn down, but I'm going to let the machine continue to run that robot or run that trade up here. And we can trade right from here too. Everything that's on here, these trades could have gone in. So for instance, if you had put this on, we'd have to put it on a chart, the same program, and it would have automatically put you in and you would be up 1,700. You would be up since 11:30. If you put this on with a mini, you would be up $3,000. If you had used a micro, you'd be up 300. If you had used 10 minis, you'd be up 30,000. So, but I don't suggest anybody do that if you don't have trading experience. You may have the money. You may have the money to go buy yourself a Lamborghini. You may have the money to go buy yourself a high-speed motorcycle. You may have the money to buy yourself a high-performance airplane, but I don't think you should start operating those things without real good, some training, some experience, and some safeguards, or you could get hurt, right? And that's why I want to be with you for three weeks now. And I have had, and I am sorry, it's 3+. It could run an extra day or two. I've had people say, well, Don, it really should be more. I wish it could be, but but we try to pack it in, and there's a lot of well, we pack a lot in, but a lot of how do I put it? Self-operated or on-demand video instruction. But then we want to be available to you while the market is open. So you can say, hey, Don, I did this, I did that, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. What about this? What about that? While the market's open. Not, we can still do it at 8 p.m. or do it on a Saturday, but I'd rather do it when the market is open with you. And you're trading, you're doing the trades. We're going to ask for you to be, during your Q school, we're going to ask for you to be in simulation. And we're big believers in that. If it's good enough for surgeons, good enough for pilots, good enough for, for all those other skills, it's certainly good enough. Anybody who's telling you that you shouldn't be trading in simulation, you should probably run from. If they're telling you, I heard one person, well, you gotta have the sickness in your belly, you gotta have that. That's nuts, right? That's crazy. If I'm taking a flight down to Costa Rica and the weather's not really good, I'm hoping that, and we're landing there at night, that the pilot doesn't have a sickness in his belly when he's bringing the plane in. I hope he's done it a few times, right? It's repetition, right? Good repetition. So we're big believers in that. And TradeStation has some really, really good tools there. And we have some very specific instructions. Will you have some butterflies when you transition? Maybe a few butterflies, but they're easily dispensed with. And because when you stop and think about it, no one trade, the way that we trade, no one trade is going to make you rich. Nope. If that's what you're thinking, then you may want the casino and not us. Because if you're really truly prepared to trade as a business, you're going to be trading as a business. And no one trade is going to make you rich, and no one trade is going to make you broke. Once you come to grips with that, then we just got to, dispense with it, dispense with the emotions, and just get down to business, get down to brass tacks, and start trading. Where people get themselves into trouble, they could have a lot of money. They could have, for $500,000 in an account, and they can still be undercapitalized because they want to come in and they want to make, $30,000 in 45 minutes. I mean, you could do that, but you could also blow a hole in your side, and then you're operating from a weakness. So we're going to teach you the same process that we do, whether you have $2,500 in your account, or you have 25,000, or you have, 2.5 million. And if you have a futures account, you got leverage. So you have the firepower to hurt yourself. You don't want to abuse it. And we do see, especially in Europe, these firms, we hear about it. I don't see it, I guess, but I hear about it, advertising leverage, particularly Forex, 300 times leverage. Okay, well, that's great. Um, and then another firm will offer you, 500 times leverage. That is, in our view, a bit of a scam. Yeah. We don't even see, I'm not impressed with any individual trade. Um, that anyone, I'm glad, Rao's let us know he made $8,000 in 10 minutes on MetaTrader 4. That's great. I'm glad you did. That's good. Um, but that doesn't um, impress us, doesn't make any difference to us um, day in and day out, because um, what we would want to know is what is your profit factor for the week, for the month, for the year. Okay, folks. So we've been on a lot longer than we anticipated, and we're going to gear up to go into the close. If there are any other questions, you got a couple of minutes here, and at 3 o'clock we're going to need to turn down YouTube and finish out our day. I want to say thank you for the questions. Thanks for stopping by. Like I say, be sure to you can subscribe on YouTube for free and on Twitter. And if you have other specific questions, you're welcome to email us, you're welcome to call. And if you're outside the US and want to set up a private time, you can certainly let us know. But be sure to look at the website though, right? I don't want to connect and and someone not have, researched the website. But we thank you. We hope you're having a good day, and you're welcome, Tina. And good luck. Good luck tomorrow, rest of the week. Okay, everyone on YouTube, we're going to say good afternoon and have a great rest of the week. And of course, our Zoom link is still up for members. Have fun, everyone. We'll catch you next time.